Okay, welcome back. So we are moving towards the different perspectives of SLA research. Um, so I hope you will just find the class, the ideas quite important in your life as well. So let me share my screen over here. Please notify me if you do not find my slides, my screens. So please, have you seen my screen? Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So thank you so much. So last time we talked about kind of research. We just brainstorm about research, and today I'm not gonna discuss about that decision-driven, knowledge-driven. So since we have already done it, and then let me go ahead until I come to my slides for today. So already we discussed about technical knowledge as well as practical knowledge. So I'm not giving my emphasis over here. And then yeah, so we have discussed about it also. And yeah, for questions, yeah, we have discussed about it. We have discussed about it. Okay, yes. So now it is about educational perspective, right? Educational perspective. What does educational or scholars say about research? Okay, so yeah, my sharing starts from here. This is another perspective for SLA in language classroom. So from educational perspectives, the SLA research has several insightful contributions to language teaching and learning programs. Many things depend on what type of research one is and what its focus is. Okay. So similarly, if it is confirmatory research, several experiments and educational treatments are carried out. The research provides objective results, and thus language teaching is precisely shift from findings of confirmatory research. So similarly, this type of research is interventionist, and findings are replicable more or less as in natural science. So this slide means to say that research is for intervention, is for experiment, is for doing something new in our classroom. Okay, so different educational research contribute to our language teaching, okay, or learning programs. So we carry out action research, or no matter it is about qualitative research or quantitative research. Okay, so that helps us to confirm about different kind of treatments, different kind of behaviors that are supposed to be done. Okay, the ultimate goal of this educational research is that it helps to make kind of intervention to apply certain new techniques. Okay, so therefore education perspective for SL research is to experiment as well as to give intervention to find out the new applicable strategies for our language teaching. So look at here, another tradition of empirical inquiry is interpretive research. An educational perspective requires SLA research to be interpretive. Yes. So yeah, while talking about educationist perspective for SLA research, we cannot forget interpretive research design. Okay, so we interpret the story. So we spend our 2 hours for today based on our experience, right? So our experiences were embroidered with those kind of SLA aspects. Okay, we talk about motivation, we talk about different traumatic situation, so we talk about different natures of learners. Okay, so these are different kind of data, different kind of information. So we were interpreting those events, right? You people were interpreting your experiences, your classroom practices, right? So based on those kind of experiences, we do interpretive research, what we call interpretive research design. Okay, so each of you describe about the learner's style or learner's trauma or different experiences in and outside of your classroom. Okay, so you interpreted it. you narrated them. Okay, so those things are the information for interpretive research designer. Okay, so it is the design that is relatively subjective. We discuss about subjectives. Chiranji talk about one case study, right? She interviewed, she observed her classes. Like that, Saroji talk about, different cultural perspective also. He describe our subjective things. Okay, so similarly, today, Rasmiji talk about the motivation, right? Obviously, so those things are being interpreted by ourselves. Okay, so those are the materials for us to run our research. Okay, so we do all the time case study, we do interview, we do observation. However, we do not write them. Okay, so that's the only difference between doing research and teaching. Okay, so when you make your narratives piling up, or you just document them, that becomes research. We are interpreter. We interpret their activities by doing certain case studies, by doing interviews, by doing some kind of observations. Okay, so those things are being done in interpretive research. Okay, and this comes under educational perspective for SLA research. Okay, we'll have a kind of discussion. Okay, so while confirmatory research looks for cause and their effects, interpretive research looks for reasons, processes, developments, and procedures. Okay, so we do have normally two types of research, as Sabina mentioned on the very first day. She discussed about, sir, are we following quantitative or qualitative? That question is still stocks in my mind. Okay, so obviously, so we also find their cause and their effect, independent variables for quantitative research, for confirmatory research types. Whereas we also follow interpretive research design, which we search for regions. We search process. Even small photography may play a vital role for carrying out interpretive research or qualitative research. Okay. Even we discuss about process. We just talk to our participants. How did he or she start his or her education or career? Okay, and other kind of developments and other kind of procedures. So these are being sought in interpretive research design. Okay, so since you have another class for research, I think mentors will discuss about those things. Okay, now only I am observing those things through the eyes of SLA research only. Okay, yeah, so from this education view, another widely noted research design that is essential in the classroom is action research. Okay, so I think, dear colleagues, you might have checked my email that I sent this morning. Okay, that was about EAR, exploratory action research. Okay, you will have question like, sir, what is the difference between action research and participatory action research? I think you will have this question, so I think you should note down this question also. So it is aimed at investigating the specific problems of the class and setting the problems along with meaningful solutions and conclusions. Okay, some research are theory laden. Research are based on theories. However, some research are not based on theories. They are only for improve your style, improve your teaching strategies, improve your day-to-day behavior in the classroom. So they are really necessary for meaningful solutions as well as conclusions. Okay, so yes, look at here. So before moving to confirmatory, or what we call so-called that quantitative research, so let me stop my presentation over here. So we'll have a couple of minutes to discuss certainly on that qualitative research, or what we call interpretive research. Let me stop my slide over here. So I allow all of you to ask questions, okay, based on interpretive research. So whether you have done in your life or not, whether you have heard so far or not. Okay, so please tell me whether you have. So if you have heard, tell me something about interpretive research design. If you have not heard, please tell me, I have not heard so far. So yeah, the ideas are welcome over here. It's your turn to ask questions. Yes, please. So did my slide make any sense about imperative research design? for from the education perspective in SLA research. Yes, please. Yeah. Did I make you confused or anything else? Yeah. Yes, please.
Um,
Sabina, yeah,
yes,
please.
sir. Just I understood the interpreted research in the way interpretation,
Mm.
description, because
Mm-hmm.
the word itself just portrays as that, and
Mm-hmm.
somehow instead of inserting more, experiments or inserting the more data,
Mm-hmm.
versus on theory
Mm-hmm.
in
Yes, yes,
medicines.
yes.
Just I got in that way, so that's all. Because we are going to learn about it. That's all.
Okay, fine, 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 fine. So I got just I wanted to know whether you got anything or not from my first slide. Okay. Yes, please. So have you carried out any research based on integrative research design, or have you heard the terminology itself or not?
Excuse,
Yes, please.
excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, I am confusion about your interpretive research. Sir,
Okay.
does interpretive research check both the qualitative research and quantitative research?
Uh-huh. So you mean to say that so does interpretive research assimilate quantitative
Yes, sir.
quantity as well as that data or the information? Okay,
Yes, sir.
interpretation. So for my knowledge, right? For me, qualitative research is to interpret. It's not for those kind of variables, dependent, independent variables, or confirmatory aspects. It's about processes. It's about emotion. It's about story. It's not about number. Okay, so it does not look after number. It looks after emotion of people. Okay, it looks about non-verbal communication. It looks about the every each and every aspect, each and every small miniature aspect of a teacher of participant. So while being interviewed, how was the participant, whether the participant was feeling comfortable. So this kind of picture also is shown in interpretive research. So therefore it is about emotion, it's about story. Since we are the storyteller, I think one of our other mentor mentioned about storytelling, all these things. Okay, so we are a storyteller. So we believe in the story. So last time, just now, Siringji mentioned about the story with that particular boy, particular student. Okay, so kind of feeling, just we felt as if we were teacher, as if we were there. So this is the success story of interpretive research design. I always advocate for interpretive research, since I'm also interpreter. I also was highly influenced by interpretive research design. So did I. Then I just carried out my interpretive research during my MPhil research journey. Okay. So I'm not influencing you to follow interpretive research design, but obviously when I am interpretive research designer, so I happen to say this. So Ramkishan ji, having said that, it does not look after number and quantity. It looks after quality. It looks after narrative. It looks after stories. So did I make you any sense? So Ramkishan ji, are you there?
Yes, sir. I got. Thank
Okay.
you, sir.
So what I mean to say is, please tell me in a very slow, very slow speed, so that you can understand better. So it looks after emotion, your process, your stories. Stories are being written there, and as I showed last time, one of my articles there, and what I had mentioned over there was there were few data, few information. Even interpretive research designer does not love taking word data. Instead of data, they love taking information. So just we gather information and then we interpret the information. And if theory comes there, we associate the theory with information. So there are three layers, I suppose. So based on my experience, okay. So there are always three layers in interpretive research design, based on my experience. So first we gather information from our field. So who our participants are? Our teachers, education stakeholders, okay. principals, school administrators, and other stakeholders. Okay, so those are our participants for information. They have rich information. Okay, so when you become interpreter, you'll be good at language, you will be good at their emotion, learning their emotion. Okay, so having said that, it is embroidered with the experience, the emotions of the characters of the particular field, right? Even a picture will be sufficient for writing 2 pages of our assignment sometimes. Yeah, really, these things matter in interpretive research design. Thank you so much for your queries. And next, Betsy, yeah. So shall I move to Betsy? Yes, please.
So, sir, please go on. I will come next.
Okay. He allows you to
Okay,
ask
thank you,
questions.
sir. So, sir, yeah, I just note down here one questions, and yes, interpretive research is pretty interesting. It's a research, paradigm that is based on assumptions, that social reality, the story that we talk about, and it's not a singular or objective. It's all about human experiences. It's very
Yes.
important. You need to put down human experiences, and also it is all about social context also,
Mm,
and it's a set of common belief and agreement, like you and interpreter and that second person, and
mm.
then the third person will know all about that. Okay, my question is all like this: what are the key limitations that interpreters or interpret, how to say that word, those who interpret, like what are the limitations, what are the key limitations that interpretive paradigm in education should follow? What are the limitations? Most of the research, they do have certain limitations, so what about this interpretive research limitation? Is there any limitation?
Okay, very crucial query, I think. So let me rephrase Sarojji's questions to all of my friends. So he means to say that whether we have certain restrictions within the while doing research, or how many participants are enough. I think your question has this kind of color. Does it have this kind of color? Okay. So means yeah, obviously we have some limitations. For example, yeah, I think Savina ji will be talking about confirmatory research, design. But I'm not good at confirmatory. But really, I have some know-how based on my experience. So one participant will be enough for you. Two participants will be more than enough for you in interpretive research design. Whereas that may not be sufficient for confirmatory research designer. So here you have to engage with your participant. Okay, so it depends on your time, effort, your money. So if you are working for other projects, you may be invested huge amount of money, you may spend years and years. So being a student, surely there is a limitation of money, limitation of time, limitation of your effort. So I think you should note down those kind of things, one thing. And next thing is whether you are happy, you are satisfied with your participants ideas. Until and unless there will be rich data, sorry to say data, rich information, you should not be satisfied with. So these are the limitations, I suppose. So obviously sometimes what happens, you predicted you would take 3 participants, but because of flood, because of some kind of crisis, because of some kind of trauma, you couldn't travel the place, you delimit that. So did I make you sense or not? Let me repeat it again. So what I mean to say is, although you expected taking 5 participants, right, Sarojji? And what happened was, because of some kind of traumatic situation, some kind of what is a pandemic, because of some kind of environmental issues, you couldn't travel so far, and then you delimit the situation, right, because of your limitation. So limitation as well as delimitation come side by side. Limitation, you limit your participant within two because of your money, because of your effort. Again, you delimit what remained Herculean for you, what remained difficult for you. Although you expected you talk to five participants, you couldn't travel it. Although you put two districts, you couldn't travel so far, and then you delimit that. Okay, limitation, delimitation are the very important factors that come in research. Okay, so we'll be talking about more of these in other classes also. So it has a long, because I can give many classes on it. I can do it, but we can take some thesis also to observe those kind of limitation, delimitation kind of things. Okay, so until and unless we do the research, we don't know what delimitation is, we don't know what limitation is in concretized form. Although we may be understood theoretically, but let's start doing it, then you know what limitation is and what delimitation is. Okay, so simply saying, it is kind of your that kind of restriction you just make suffer while doing research. Okay, so Z, yes please. It depends on time, money, effort, all these things. Simply saying, like, okay, यति मात्रै is in surface level we can just understand like that. And any other understanding you have had so far? Any other my friends? Yeah, please. Betji.
Yes, sir. Okay. This word, interpret means I have heard this word when I
When
was.
did you hear it? So may I ask
Okay,
you one
so
question? When did you hear?
yeah, well, I first time hear it in my school days,
Ah,
but in different context, not in the context of research work.
okay.
Okay, I heard it like how to interpret a poem,
Ah,
story. Okay, from that I when you spoke about the poem, my mind was there, sir. I used to
ah,
interpret some stories, some. So there,
yeah.
my understanding is like why we do research, sir,
Ah,
because of any problem, some problem wherever we face some
ah,
problem, we do research. Hey, that's the concept of research, I think.
ah,
So if some problem occurs and we want to solve it and we are doing some research type of thing over there,
ah,
then here comes the perception of the data, whatever
ah,
the information we have.
ah.
If we can interpret in our word, in our narration, in our perception, how we are taking it, and doing the research work, I think it is interpret research, sir.
Yeah, really, really. So let me share one metaphor by Denzin and Lincoln. So yeah, we observe the fish. Not only we observe, we dive into the sea with fish, and then just we try to acculturate with them. Then how they dive into the water, all these things, right? So we have to understand who our participants are, and then how do they live, and then just we carry out their lived experiences, right? We interpret them. Suppose we just swim with fish in the river, right? So we just be nearby them, and we try to know their culture, and we interpret them. Okay, and based on those kind of events, and we just associate those kind of information with certain theories, certain beliefs, certain standard norms. Okay, so this is how the interpretive research goes on. So Rasmiji, yeah, I'm just looking at you.
So
Okay.
I'm very much confused
Ah.
about this. So can you give some examples? I actually I'm reading about it, but I still could not get it.
Okay, so do you know storytelling?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it is kind of storytelling. Just we bring certain, story, certain, situation, and we interpret the reality. Means it is kind of a story. It's kind of sharing the events. So it does not no, it does not go with, for example, agree, disagree kind of things, strongly agree kind of things. It doesn't have any kind of distractors as quantitative research design has had. So it has it doesn't have that kind of agree disagree kind of things. Rather, we delve into the situation, we dive into the different kind of phenomena, and whatever we saw, whatever we observed, Whatever we talk to people, we bring the notes, right, in a chronological order, in a certain steps will be there. And based on those stories, we associate those stories with the particular standard theories. For example, motivation theory, as Rasmiji mentioned. For example, so Siringji, let's an example of today's classroom. Siringji mentioned about one of her students who was struggling with, and then she talked to him, and then she came to know that he should be motivated. Means by the time she knew about the students and she applied the theory, that theory worked. Likewise, when we bring the story, when we bring certain kind of situation, we try to assimilate those situation with that standard theory. For example, need Maslow's hierarchy of need theory, Overmars theories, and then for example, motivation theory, sociocultural theories, Vygotsky's ZPD theory, right? So there are different other kind of other grand theories as well as minor theories. Why not we have local theories also? For example, we believe in our grandfathers. They are saying Ukhan also is here. Ukhan Tuka also are taken highly cited. Okay, so based on those kind of established belief, we associate that those information with our those local theories as well as international theories. Okay, so I will show off one. So there are many research done under interpretive research design. It's needless to say these things. Just you have to understand it's kind of interpretation, it's kind of storytelling based on the certain norms and conditions. So those norms and conditions means those theories, those standard beliefs. Okay, so these that kind of paradigm move with three parameters. One, that information and explanation with the certain standard norms. Okay, so I think it will be food for thought to explore yourself also. Okay, so I can give you one assignment to find out what interpretive research design is. Okay, just you delve into the different kind of documents and you find out 10 points. So what does it mean? Okay, 10 points at least. What does interpretive research design mean? How does it go? How is it being done by scholars? Okay, so many things are there, so don't be worried about it. Okay, so any other queries? Please ask anything. Otherwise I will move to next slide. Okay, Sarojit, yes, please.
So one last question.
Yes,
So we
please.
are talking about educational perspective in SLA research. So
Mhm.
going through that, like there's a relationship between second language acquisition and also language pedagogy, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so would you please clarify the relationship between SLA and language pedagogy?
Yes. So, yes, obviously, interpretive research design is really appropriate for SLA, research design, because we are studying social science. Okay. So, as a social science researcher, interpretive research design is far better than any other kind of research design. So, I'm not being influenced by interpretive research design. I'm neutral. However, I happen to say this. Okay, so what is believed here is quantity does not count your emotion. Quantity does not count your student's
Mhm.
emotion, right? So here, so hypothesis is made, no? Hypothesis, or let's say assumption is made based on the true, in-depth study of particular learners, a particular participant. Our participants are not business person. Obviously, our participants are, educationists. Perhaps they would be investor, they would be learner, they would be teacher, and any kind of stakeholders. Okay, so having said that, yeah, back to your questions. Okay, so it is it is about their emotions, it is about their story, right? So it is about the processes. Okay, we go with, right, and then we just make a kind of corpus of a kind of explanation. Okay. And we just make a true chronological story based on that. Okay. So those stories have a lot of themes. We can just draw themes based on the story. So those stories, those themes will be generalized. But I don't mean to say that you must be doing ASCII generalization for with the findings. But most of the cases, humans are humans. Their stories are, your story is mine, mine story is yours. So could you repeat your questions again?
Yes, sir. So my question was, what is the relationship between second language acquisitions and
Yeah, yeah,
language
very good.
pedagogy?
So
Because I wrote the discourses by Guy 1990. I
Guy.
read that. That's why I was confused because I found that also. Yes, sir. Discourses.
Guy 1990 does not look after discourse, Soroji. He looks after identity theory. He has four theories.
Okay,
Oh,
sir.
yeah. I cited his theories of, while I was being taught
Identity.
in old Englishes of by Professor Tika sir. So Guy looks after identity theory especially, right? Discourse means discourse also is one of the theories because we
Mm.
talk to people, right? Based on
Theories.
the talking, then we find out who they are. That is called discourse theory. Okay, so discourse used to be another subject for us when we were the student of M8. Discourse used to be another subject for us too. That's amazing subject also.
Oh.
So we analyze, no, for example, we are talking about this, then someone, I think we are being heard by someone else outside of our window, and they thought that they might be thinking that they are the school teachers and learners. So by observing our discussion, by observing our codes and other kind of that kind of technical words, they easily guess that we are teacher and students. So that's the discourses. Okay, so what kind of discourse is being done? So what kind of speech community discourse? So those things come under. So yes, obviously this is one of the strategies we can follow while doing research, that interpretive research design super. Okay. Yes, obviously SLA pedagogy, these are under the social, social sciences. So social sciences is easily sought by that interpretive research designer. Okay, because social science, society, has a lot of layers of interpretation. That has a lot of layers. We cannot find, we cannot judge society by objectivity, by having that objective eyes. Obviously we have subjective mindset. So since the society has a lot of layers, although I'm not the student of sociology, but based on my experience, what I can say is, yes, we are the one of the aspects of our society. So this much I can say. Therefore, we cannot go beyond our society, their feelings, their emotions, their experiences, which cannot be counted with numbers, Saruji, which are which can be counted to some extent by this kind of stories, interpretation, all these things, right? So we have to dive into them. So what kind of problem do they have? Just you talk to students. Don't count your students by their heads. Count their emotion. That is my take.
So that means I concluded there is certain limitations of SLA itself.
Yes, please.
Is that, can I say, like, is
Yes.
it possible to say like there is like certain limitations of
Okay.
SLA
Fine.
itself?
Fine.
So
Fine. Fine.
that's what I conclude. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So therefore, yes, this question doesn't have that much specific answer, but obviously we have to give answers or receive answers based on our society, and that's just we feel as if we are in society, and then we know the person, their culture, their value, their belief system, their code of conducts, their norms, all these things. Okay. Okay, for now, I can answer for questions this much only, but this is not a sufficient one, I suppose. Okay, because Denzin and Lincoln has written 500 pages of books. How can I define interpretive research within 5 minutes? Okay, so it's a big deal. It's very, they are still doing it because Savinaji also has had one book, Ranjit Kumar's book. So I think she must have explored those books. So I just give you one assignment, non-graded assignment. Write any 10 points based on interpretive research design. What does it mean? How does it go? How is it being done? Who are the stakeholders? What are the subject matter for integrated research design? Okay, so until unless you read those kind of research design by Denzi and Lincoln, and then other Saldana, Denzi Lincoln, these people are really great people. And then others, for example, Ranjit Kumar. Okay, so these are really, so I love sharing those books also, uh, for that integrated research design or social science research. Okay, it's really important, but so I don't think I should encourage you to do be you just you follow those interpretive natures of research. But I wonder if you carry any kind of research out based on the interpretive research design. And because since you have a lot of experiences, a lot of things, right, and associate those kind of things with non-verbal, you know um, non-language factors, those are also research, theories. So motivation is not only simple kind of terminology, it is also theory. Personality also is theory. You can associate your ideas with personality theory, motivation theory, right? So another, for example, aptitude theory. For example, you just talk to teacher, you talk to your students, and some students had very wonderful experiences, wonderful attitudes, based on the dialogues you just made, and you got to know they were interested in your class. That is aptitude theory. So aptitude theory also talks about that, the when the students are motivated towards the classroom, when the students are positive towards the learners, towards the teachers, they will be understanding better. So whatever we carry out, that will be associated with certain standard, certain SLA terminologies. Okay, therefore this theory comes under educationist perspective research theory in SLA classroom. Okay, so did I make you understand about these things? Okay, I request all of you to read the books by Elish and other pioneers. Okay, you'll be getting many other ideas based on this. So any more queries? Okay.
Excuse me, sir. I just want to ask, like,
Yes.
after like having a long discussion about the imperative research, like, I just realized that we usually, while doing this research, do we usually follow the longitudinal research method, where like
Longitudinal, yes, we have to spend long time with them. Obviously, no, because
we have
you
very
have until and unless, right, listening Ji. So let me answer. Until and unless we know who our research participants are, we cannot do it. What they are feeling, who they are, right? What their level, age level is, what their emotion is, their a social strata, their background. Yes. So thank you so much for sharing that query. Yeah. So those things matter a lot. Yes. Any other queries? Yeah. Yeah. It's being very good to have this kind of interaction. Yes, please. Any more things? So have you read any part of that? So you might have been already taught about those things, because research is not being taught by me. Actually, it should be taught by other subject teachers also. I was thinking as if you would share some more ideas than I shared about the integrated research design. Okay, since SLA does not talk about research, all
So
these things.
that's what, sir.
Okay, fine. So yeah. And any other queries? Yeah.
Actually, we have given an assignment from Manda ma'am regarding
Oh, I
research.
see. Yes, yes. Yeah.
Okay, to just extract some words
Ah.
which are very useful in research activities. Just
Uh-huh.
10 words, I think.
So she requested you to bring some terminologies,
Some
right?
terminology, yes,
Ah,
sir.
good, good. Yeah,
So
please,
it's
please, please.
basic, sir. It's a
Ah,
starting point for us, sir,
oh.
regarding
So
research.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So you should be taught this kind of basic ideas so that you can figure out what interpretive research design is. But the very first day, Savina ma'am asked me whether I would be following quantitative or qualitative. Still, that question stalks in my mind, right? Yeah. So fine, good. So that's really a nice idea. Any others? Any others? Yes, yes. Srishti ji, why are you silent? Rasmi ji, I wish to hear some words from your side, right? Even you said, sir, I didn't understand anything. Why not? You can see on this response also. So I didn't make any sense, right?
Sir, I already said, and I got some
Okay,
ideas about it.
fine. Sanjuji, anything else?
No, sir.
No
No,
idea.
sir.
Okay, no idea at all. Okay. Okay, so we'll be having one paper, a qualitative research paper, and then that research paper will make you understand better than my lecture. Don't worry about it. This is only starting day. Okay, so I thought you would have been already taught research kind of things, since there is another subject also. I didn't think that you don't know basic ideas. So anyway, don't worry. We'll be sharing about some research, qualitative research design, qualitative research data, those already done research. Okay, and then so let me share the same document that I shared this morning. Exploratory action research. That's funny केही कुराहरू. So did you go through or not? Please be honest. पढ्नुभयो त त्यो? छैन नि.
No,
Okay,
sir.
that has some qualitative data. A lot of data are there.
I just went through it, but I didn't read, sir. But I
Oh,
got
any?
that few things,
Oh.
examples there. Yes, sir.
So, so there are many information. For example, do you allow me to share? I don't know whether that is there or not. Okay. How do I start here? कहाँबाट सुरु गरौँ भइरहेछ कि मलाई जस्ट लाइक द्याट ओके ल एउटा यो सेयर गर्नु पर्ला ल है त सो लेट मी सेयर वान अफ माई स्लाइड्स ओभर हियर सो क्यान यु सी इट इज इट भिजिबल अर नट
Yes, sir.
okay so look at here our teacher has noticed that his students speaking abilities are limited since they hardly communicate using the target language. In order to change this situation, this teacher decides to add more group work to his class. Okay. And next is our teacher feels our students are not motivated enough in her class. She wonders whether she could improve this by using videos in her class. So she decides to plan a lesson, including videos showing songs, funny clips, and film extracts. Okay. So these are from EAR, page number 20. So why did I show off here is, so we bring this kind of information, this kind of data. Okay, so this kind of data while doing qualitative research. Okay, this is for action research, this is for qualitative research design. Okay, so we bring a very small thing, for example, speaking innovation in second language classroom. Isn't it the pedagogy of the pedagogical aspect of SLA classroom, as Saroji already asked question. Okay, speaking innovation in target language in SLA classroom. Okay, innovation of speaking English, or hesitation, or whatever you say, or let's say using code switching in second language classroom, or humanizing pedagogy in classroom. For example, as Sirinji mentioned, so just he showed humanizing pedagogy, right? So, or let's say uh, listening activities for second level students. Isn't that qualitative research design? Yeah. And then you can talk to teachers, how far teachers have practiced for listening practices, or speaking practices, or writing practices. So writing challenges of academic writing for secondary level students. Isn't that qualitative research design topic? Obviously. So just you talk to people, you talk to teachers, and then bring data with based on their experiences. What are the probable or challenges of academic writing for secondary level learners, or what are the challenges faced by um, you know how do second level teachers teach let's say academic writing in secondary level classroom. Okay, how to teach, especially questions are designed how, why kind of things. Okay, so we don't use how much kind of questions, we mention why, how do kind of questions. Okay, because what belongs to quantity, how belongs to emotion, how belongs to quality, or let's say interpretation, why, how. So these things come under, don't worry about it. Only now we have started what is interpretivism. It's quite challenging to pronounce word also. interpretation. Okay, so we interpret a story, we interpret their um, let's say their stories, let's say, okay, based on stories come there, narration comes there, particular scene setting comes there. Okay, what was the scene setting, what was their emotions, what was their those verbal non-verbal communications, so those things come there one after another while interpreting the story. That's it.
We can say like open-ended questions instead of closed
Yes,
type.
what a beautiful idea. Yes, yes. Thank you so much. So we just ask them open-ended questions rather than closed-ended questions. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So how do you feel? How have you been feeling? Being the member of Kusud. So this is how just we make questions, right? Yeah. Very wonderful. So how did you find out, Sabinaji? It's very beautiful question. Okay. Structured, non-structured interview, right? Structured, non-structured, formal, informal observation, FGD, focus group discussion will be there. Don't worry, things will come one after another. Yeah. Yes, please. There are floods of ideas. Don't worry. And next. Okay. So what have you
Systematic
understood so far by my one of my slides that I have shared so far? So I don't think I should go ahead. There are, since I have so many slides, I think I can make you engage within one slide based on that. Yeah. I wish to hear other queries based on it. Okay. So, so my slide was based on this. It reduces design. Okay. Yeah. So let me share the same things. Okay. Here entire. Yes. So this is not positivist paradigm भन्छ यसलाई चाहिँ हामी it is called post positivist paradigm पहिला चाहिँ so people used to practice positivist paradigm but nowadays the trend has come to follow post positivist paradigm. So it is based on empirical research भनेको के हो भनेदेखि we just review the literature. Okay, we review the literature, so what has already been done. Okay, so we review it, what was done, what was found out, and what was left out. Okay, what was found out, what was left out. So I'll be sharing those slides in Google Classroom. Okay, so I'll just share those things. Can we say it is a phenomenology? Yeah, why not? So phenomenology is just find out own research, find out own ideas. Why not? You can create own your hypothesis, sorry, own assumption, on findings, right? So that becomes theory, Saroji. That becomes theory in education. So while I was the student of law, I used to say it's kind of nazir, it's kind of precedents. Okay, nazir बसाउने हो नि त यो त आफैले गर्ने हो नि हैन. So our guru used to say that law can be made of precedent. One of the factors of law is that president is not the head of state, it's kind of nazir in Nepali. So therefore जब हामी एउटा स्ट्यान्डर्ड बिलिभ गर्छौँ नि, स्ट्यान्डर्ड एउटा मेन्टेन गर्छौँ, एउटा चाहिँ यो रहेछ है भनेर भन्छौँ, that becomes theory. So that is the part of phenomenology. So there were some of my friends who were following that phenomenology, and then just they created their own belief, own story, own belief system, है. यो पनि interpretivism नै हो. Yes, that also comes under interpretivism. Yeah. So how did you find out, Saroji, this phenomenology? Okay.
The last time, yeah, before you kept on saying this word last time
Hey,
also,
okay, okay. Thank you so much
and
for
then I
reminding.
noted down here. That's
Okay.
why I want to relate
Oh,
whether
good,
it is
good, good.
pretty similar or not, sir.
Yes, good.
It's from your mouth last
It's
time.
kind of, yeah. Thank you so much for picking up that. So although I forgot it, so phenomenology, you just talk about your different phenomena, different layers of stories, right? Just you establish your own theory, own belief that comes under phenomenology, right? यो अझै कस्तो राम्रो रिसर्च हुन्छ भने नि when we follow phenomenology, but it will be kind of briefly mentioned. Okay, there are some samples of research for phenomenology in the Kusud library. You'll find it, those things. Yeah. Next. Yeah, very loving ideas, very wonderful ideas are being shared here. Okay. So other things. Where is Bijaji? Bijaji is Bijaji here? He should have asked some questions over here. Bijaji left. Oh my goodness. Because of internet or something like that. Okay. Yes. Sanjuji. Any query there? Have you read any articles that based on stories? So let
One
me
second.
share ER. Okay. Matthew, your ERs here goes. So do you have any stories, anything else that you have done so far that you have heard? Okay. So let me share EAR that I downloaded this morning, and I will make you see there. That will be better for you. What is that actually? Yeah, I think this is here. Yeah, exploited action research. So okay, just let me share. Yeah, okay. Mm. So I'm going to share the article here. So please notify me if you do not find my screen. So can you find my screen over here?
Yes, sir, we can.
Okay.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, sorry. Let me minimize it. Yes. This is one of the pages of the research exploratory action research, which is also called interpretive research. The data, the information are being explained here. For example, look at here. Look at, what do you see? I decided to start this research because I had a puzzle about my wrapping up activities. I felt that my closure was not sufficient, or maybe my activities did not engage students until the end to ensure their learning and the reaching of my class objective. I realized that I tended to prepare my classes, giving special emphasis to the warm up and the main activity, and I wondered if the wrapping up was as strong as it should be. So the story is here. Look at here. Stories are here. But my first question was, what is wrapping up? I had an idea about it. So means the things are here. You know, yeah. Please just yeah. In that point, I feel that I what I thought was similar to what that article said. Yeah. So that the participant is sharing her story. Look at here. So based on her story, then again expansion is made. Okay. So yes. So this is how it is done. Means we bring data, just we listen to our participant, we record them, record the voice, and then we interpret them whatever they said, and just we transcribe those recorded items into papers, right? And that will become a story, and that story will be analyzed from our different perspective, from feministic perspective, from postmodernistic perspective, from motivation perspective, from attitude perspective, from sociocultural perspective, any other perspectives. Okay, so this is how we can associate those data, those information with our that standard theories. Okay, so means we bring data, we bring this kind of story by recording. So their voice will be recorded throughout the interview by taking consent, and based on their interviews, then we transcribe them into papers. Okay, we write them in different papers. We will have a running note also. Okay, and that becomes a kind of a story, and that story will be described or interpreted. Okay, yeah, Vijay is joined. Yeah, so it's kind of complete form of story, complete form of their dialogues, their interviews, your observation. Sometimes you use observation also. How was the thing going on? For example, there was your assignment that to observe one of the classes by one of your colleagues, right? I just gave the assignment, right? So you observed one of the classes by your seniors, or by your co-staffs, or anybody else, and then you observed it. Then you also noticed that how was he or how was she teaching in the classroom, right? So that is what we call observation. classroom observation. So classroom observation is one of the tools to be used for qualitative research. So Bijayji, welcome back. I was searching you whether you were here or not. So we are talking about qualitative research design. We are talking about interpretive research design. Qualitative research design as well as interpretive research design are similar. They come together. We just now I have created your kind of curiosity in your mind. I think you may not sleep a little bit earlier, so you'll find it some ideas about qualitative research by following Tenzin Lincoln, Ranjit Kumar, and other kind of scholars, right? I recommend you to go through Tenzin Lincoln. I will share it on email. Okay, so don't worry. I'll put on Moodle also. So I have
Did
a
you
lot of
say tensing or densing?
Denzin, not Tenzing. D,
Oh,
yeah, D.
dancing.
Yeah, Denzin and Lincoln, right? It's not Abraham Lincoln. It's different Lincoln. Okay, fine. So that is Bhagavad Gita for we interpretive research designer. Okay, so you must download it. Perhaps it is available online. If not never available, I will share with you all. Don't worry. So don't worry about getting books. I have pile of books and then articles also. So I did not share everything already because those things will make you scared. So I don't like to make you scared in early periods, no. So I don't make you scared like that. So I slowly send those things if you need that particular items. Okay, so don't be scared. I have so many things, and then just go through it. And yeah, please teach us also. For example, today Chiringji taught about her experience. Even Saroji taught kind of culture which exists in Thailand since he's there. Okay, so it's kind of collaboration. I'm being taught, and so are you as well, right? So it's kind of two-way process. So I'm being taught those kind of cultures. So yeah, it's going on like that. So any other things?
Minister, like whether this topic can be developed in like interpretative writing or not, sir. Like a role of reflection writing in developing writing skill,
Hmm.
uh,
Yes,
reflection writing
yes.
in
Role of the
developing
role of the role of reflective writing to
skill.
improve academic writing. So write down the topic. So the role of reflective writing to improve academic writing. I like research question. Kasar Bharani? How does reflective writing affect? How does reflective writing affect to improve academic writing or yeah, academic writing? One question is there, and next question is how do English teacher of English perceive reflective writing? How do teachers of English perceive reflective writing? How do they perceive? Okay, that is another question. And the third question is how has reflective writing been practiced at university level? Write down third question. How has reflective writing used at university level, at tertiary level? Write down tertiary level. Better not to write university level. Write down tertiary level. Okay, so write down these three questions. Okay, so these will be qualitative research design questions. Thank you, Savinaji, for reminding, because this unique girl brings some ideas. No, okay, yeah. And next is yeah, and then how do you use tools? How do you use tools?
Uh,
Interview, Savia. Yeah.
Obviously, interview to the past
Ah,
students.
okay,
I've already
okay,
passed from Kusud.
okay, fine, fine. So so how do you gather your who will be your participants? Can you guess for this kind of topic?
For first
Ah,
thing is like for the those who have already passed the students master's
ah,
level because they have known like familiar with this
ah,
reflective writing, and
ah.
even the professors as well, like how they have done. We can ask to our
Yeah, we
professors.
ourselves. Yeah, really, we ourselves
Yes.
also. That's it, yes. So you can talk to Sarojji will be your participant. Then ask Sarojji whether he has written any reflective writing or not. So has the reflective writing been supported or not? So these are the questions for these are the interview questions. Sorry, we should not say questionnaire. We are not allowed to say questionnaire over here. Instead of questionnaire, we have to say interview questions. I happen to make this kind of mistakes in my research class. Then our professor Balsar, who has been dean these days, he used to scold us. He used to demotivate us to use those kind of terminologies, as Saroji mentioned, right? Bomb, gone, kind of things. So when I used to use those kind of things, so they used to think as if it was the terminology like gun in the qualitative research class. So did I make you understand, Saroji? So if I happen to say questionnaire or data in my qualitative research design class, they used to think that it is kind of terminology like fat, die, gone, bombs, as you mentioned. Don't use these kind of terminologies while you are being taught qualitative research design by your professor. That becomes the terminology like fat, die, gone, bombs, like that. Okay, thank you so much. Yes. Any other queries?
So I listed the book name. Is that in the chat box? Wrote the book name. Is that the book about qualitative
Oh, says,
research
yeah.
by
The Sage
Norman K.
Handbook of
Denzing?
Quality
And
Research,
that's
Norman
the
K.
book.
Dengin, Evan S. Lincoln. Exactly
Okay.
right. Yes, absolutely right. Yes,
Okay,
yes.
so got it.
This is the book. So they have published 2018 version as well. Okay, they have just published 2018 version. So I might have had that book. So let me search in my e folder and then we'll share it. Don't worry. Yes, that's the book that I was talking about. Yes. Bijaji, are you there?
Yes, sir.
I
I'm
think
here.
I'm making you confused because I'm talking about entrepreneurial research.
I mean, I missed like some part of the lecture, so it's my fault, sir.
Yeah, no, no problem. So yes, I was talking about. Let me copy that slide, that particular slide, and then paste. Let me copy it. Like just let me copy and then paste on the chat box.
So,
Just read it.
although this, action research, it's not
Hmm.
totally interpretative research, but we can consider somehow it is a part because we are
Hmm.
not going to call
We
it a
can
big part
consider.
because we focus on information, isn't
Hmm,
it, sir?
yeah, yeah.
That's
So
why.
actually, that is for proof. Actually, some interpretive researchers are research designing, research even research study are for proving as well. But action research is not for proof; it's for improve. Therefore, action research is not wholeheartedly interpretive research design. Yeah, I understand that. Okay.
We can say like that, sir.
Yeah, we
All
can.
action researches are interpretative research,
Hmm.
but all interpretative research are not
Are
action
not
research.
action research. Yeah. Fine, fine. Yes, good. Good idea. So we sometimes we because interpretive research are based on theories. Until and unless we associate theories, no, the research will not be complete. Therefore, action research doesn't need any kind of theory, just your practice. Okay, so we'll be talking about those things in another class. When I talk about those kind of things, that will make you confused. Since just only we have started talking about interpretive research design, it takes long time. Roman was not built in a single day. It takes time. Okay. Yeah. Don't worry. तर यस्तो गर्नु होला. So what you do is, I recommend you to go through the book by Denzing Lincoln, as Saruji already wrote there. अनि त्यसपछि चाहिँ write down only 10 points, 10 features of qualitative research. Manda ma'am has given you some terminologies to gather some terminologies that are being used in research. Like that, I also am supposed to give you the assignment, for example, to write down 10 points on qualitative research design. I think yeah, yeah, that guy has already done it. We're good. Keep it up. We're good. This is the starting part of the knowing of that particular variety of research. Shirinji, are you being bored?
Not yet.
Okay, fine,
No, sir, not yet.
fine. So, any other my colleagues who love to share those kind of things, those kind of your understanding, your problems based on that. So we did not dig out many of the ideas for today. So although I had some other slides, no, just I wanna just make you confirm more and more on it. Okay, so that's the really big terminologies. One thing is that just bring एउटा के काम गर्नु भनेदेखि just so talk to one of the teachers होइन who might have spent 20 years of teaching career होइन अनि त्यसपछि just ask one question. Sir, as your experience, since you have already spent 20 years in classroom, in and outside of classroom, so can you tell me your best practices or your experience that makes teaching professional well? Okay, so what kind of things make our career better based on experience? Just write that question. Just you throw this question to him or to her, and he will keep on saying, yeah, I started my career, yeah, this time my one of my senior told me to join teaching career. He starts narrating like this and keep on recording those things. But so please don't record until unless you take consent with them. म record गर्छु है like that, and then just you record, and then if he or she allows you to do so, do record that, and just listen, come back to your home and just listen, and then things come there. So it is the beginning part of interpretive research design. This is the research. So before we walk confidently, our mother caught our hands to walk, to walk in our early days like that. This is the early days walking for us to figure out the qualitative research. So do it like that. Talk to teachers, right? So यस्तो सोध्नुहोस् त एउटा क्वेसन फालिहेर्नुहोस् त ल, and then he spends or she spends 20 minutes 30 minutes, and then please better to record them होइन. हामी त लाइक यस्तो पनि हो कि we are like a listener क्या, we are good listener. So be a good listener, I suppose होइन. त्यसपछि चाहिँ and then आइहाल्छ कुरो. So he or she joins different ups and downs of his life, no, how was his early days, and then how did she start the career. So chronologically, the participant will share his or her feeling chronologically. That becomes a huge information for us to gather information. ए म रिसर्च गर्न आएको ल बताइदिनुहोस् म चाहिँ यस्तो हो. Don't say like that. Okay. So last time we were made to laugh by one of our professors. So the thing that he told at the time was that yeah, म रिसर्च गर्न आएको हो, म चाहिँ काठमाडौँ विश्वविद्यालयबाट यस्तो यस्तो काइन्ड अफ थिङ्स होइन भनेपछि everybody will be reluctant like Sarojji is doing like that. So everybody will be reluctant like that and they don't share the information. Although they are excited to share, but they don't share.
Actually, we do have experience. Like when we were doing research about the population, we just we did research on solid waste management in Godavari. So like before we starting our like interview questions, what we said like we are here to do research and all this thing, and they literally argued on us. Like there are so many like youths who have already collected the information about this thing, but nothing has been done over here. So like it is useless to speak about it and something like they would be responding in that.
Oh yes. So yeah, because yes, really, they are don't make us don't make them being feared, or let's say don't discourage them to say that you are for research all these things, and then people will be discouraged. So therefore, so I cannot talk anything. I become so overwhelmed because of the things. Sometimes I become you know overwhelmed because of different kind of things that occur in the classroom. So anyway, sorry for this because I became so emotional. So yeah, this is how interpretive research design goes on, and then it's not far from us. So interpretive research we are being surrounded with interpretive research, since we are the human being, we are the social milieu, and then we are in society. We have to address their views, their actions, their emotions. So those are the interpretive research design will be the manifesto for those kind of societal aspects. That's my understanding in my 2 years, MPhil degree, okay, with my respected professors. Okay, so our dean sir used to be mathematician. He used to follow post. He used to follow post. Sorry, he used to follow positivist approach at the beginning. But when he went to Australia and then got to meet his professor, then he became interpretivist. So now he talks about the kind of things in pretty way. Means he encourages us to write stories. Even he teaches mathematics in a storytelling way. Look at so how funny it is. So story
So
increases you like that.
we also do so here.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Fine.
So we teach maths here also, and but the students they have to make a story. So we
Yeah.
have storytelling in maths also.
Good. That is how is interpretive research, design works on. Okay, that is how it goes on. So social constructivism, interpretive research. Yeah, Saroji, yeah, social constructivism comes there. Even I also use social constructivism in my research. Yeah. So interpretive research follows social constructivism, ZPD, and motivation, as we mentioned already, adult learning theory, Generation Z. So there are so many things are there. You can do it. So yes, anything more, Betji? Yes, please.
Sir, regarding research, I want to share my experience, a small experience, sir.
Mm.
It's a kind of jokes you can say.
Uh-huh.
Hey,
Uh,
in when I was doing my bachelor's in
mm.
final year,
Uh-huh.
I got a chance to write a thesis,
Uh,
project work like thing.
okay.
अनि त्यो चाहिँ मेरो स्टार्टिङ पोइन्ट थियो सर
Uh,
रिसर्चको
okay.
अनि के भयो भने आई गोट द टपिक लाइक जापानिज एन्सिफिलाइटिस के
Uh-huh.
है फ्रम द लेक्चर हेज लोट्री टाइपको काम गरेर दिनुभएको थियो वाट एभर यु गेट फ्रम द लोट्री यु हेभ टु डु द रिसर्च अन द्याट इस्यु भनेर
Uh,
अनि मैले चाहिँ जापानिज एन्सिफ्लाइटिस पाएँ अनि म यताउति गरेर अब यो यो रिसर्चको टर्महरू अलिअलि सिकेर अब गर्नु पऱ्यो डाटाहरू लिनु पऱ्यो भनेर हस्पिटल गएको
uh,
हस्पिटलमा के भन्छ भने यो त इरेडिकेट भयो 1990sमै भनेर
uh,
अनि केही पनि पाइनँ सर आई डिडन्ट गेट अ सिङ्गल डाटा ओभर देयर एन्ड आई वेन्ट ब्याक टु द टिचर माई लेक्चर एन्ड told him that I didn't get anything, sir. It's already been eradicated from Nepal. He said, then give me blank paper. Don't do anything. यस्तो पनि भएको थियो सर के भन्ने अब इट्स नेपाल
So Beji, what did you say? Japanese what?
Japanese encephalitis, a type of disease you can say,
Yeah,
malaria
it's
type.
a type of disease.
so okay. So let's talk informally. Let me stop my recording so that we can be a little bit informal.